Can't you see the private jets flying over you? Yes, blessed. Where'd it go? There it is. Boom, baby, boom! Rise like a plane. Where'd it go? I lost it. And shine. It's cloud cover time. It's actually humid time right now, and I'm at it like a crack addict. We over here at the morning motivation. We took out the marijuana and started focusing. And this morning, we're talking about confessions of a narcissist. And one of the things that I learned about my narcissism was my perfectionism. I have lost my ability to give myself leeway. And this morning, I'm talking about us being nicer to each other, which isn't easy because people get very hate-filled. Right now, I'm at work. I got a lot of shade getting thrown at me. People trying to micromanage me, worried about my tasks when they should be focused on theirs, and worried about my attitude when they got to be worried about theirs. And I constantly have a reflection of who I am in the world. Ow, that boom, baby, boom. I hit myself this morning trying to catch that airplane. But that's what it is, our effect on people and our effect on ourselves. This morning, not for nothing, we're learning what I posted about the 5 different types of people. It's not just all one thing. It's a whole motherfucking other. And that's what we do. We all up inside of our heads with typical behavior. And it's not just me. There's multiple people, right? There's a lot of people out there in the world. All of us with the same afflictions, if you will, addictions. It's not like someone else is like, what, you invented a new drug and you're all by yourself, or oh, there's a new flavor and only you can taste it, or there's a new behavior and you're the only one experiencing it. That doesn't happen. Actually, everyone has the same experience, and we end up being inside of ourselves, maybe not being able to see ourselves. And that's confession of a narcissist is, I don't actually get to see my actions the way that they affect others, right? I only get to feel the way that I feel. And that lack of empathy is what I'm reading from narcissism. Doesn't exist with me. I actually get butt hurt. Situation doesn't work out, doesn't happen the way I want it to. I get a little burnt inside and lost a friendship or whatever. What I didn't know is when I was losing those relationships, right? So when it's happening, it's happening. It's not exactly like it's something that gets to go down and gets to wave a flag and go, hey, you're being a narcissist right now, or hey, you're being a perfectionist right now. Instead, what happens is we live in our own worlds inside of our own minds, and we only feel what we feel. Now, the empathy is feeling what other people feel. And that's something that is hard to track, right? How we're making other people feel and how we're being witnessed and noticed and displayed in the real world. And that's something that takes a lot of observation. I mean, it's not easy to say, hey, I'm this way, and I don't mean to be this way. It's the way that I am. Why are you the way that you are? And then you figure out deeper and deeper in yourself your patterns. And mine so happens to be narcissism. I get very focused in on myself. There doesn't leave a lot of room for other people. I feel like other people have to manage their own mental health. It's not my job to be the manager of someone's mental health. I don't mind going live every morning and giving a motivation to people that might need it. Hell, people might not even watch it. So it's one of those things where the self-centeredness that I get when I mention the word narcissist tends to not apply. I am very aware and self-conscious of other people. And if nothing else, we are hyper conscious of ourselves, right? We're always wondering what other people are doing, thinking about us in this perspective, not in, oh, what about those people on the plane right now? It's not very external. It's very internal. And the way that we talk to ourselves, like, again, I was putting the perfectionism, not not for nothing, but not only do I have high expectations for myself, this is the confessions of a narcissist here, but I also have high expectations for my friends. And that leads to a lot of disappointments because humans are fickle, right? We're fallible. We're to err is to human, and to pretend that one person has all the solutions or as if they're not going to make a mistake left me open for those disappointments, right? In the friendships, not noticing that the relationships were deteriorating, I just kept accelerating and just moving forward and not realizing that some people, they don't move forward from things. They felt the way that you talked to them or said something, and they're going to hold slight. Now, I haven't really cursed anybody out or punched anybody in a long time, so I'm really happy on that note, but how we bleed on each other, right? I call it verbal vomit. When we're talking to somebody and we're just all up in our emotions, all up in our face, all up straight up in their face with little to no self-control. And that's what I want people to have, right? I want people to have that amount of, perfectionism doesn't exist. Perfectly imperfect we all are. And that we don't have to stay so driven for things that are not necessarily for our destiny, right? Like a lot of it has to do with just the outcome instead of the experience, and maximizing the time now instead of over planning the future. And I've noticed that when we're in our own worlds, we tend to live in it in a dystopian type manner. We've created things where, again, we haven't sensed what we've done to the other people, and then maybe it's just me as humans, not just narcissists, but also our senses of ourselves. Like, why am I doing this? Oh shit, I'm a perfectionist. Why am I riding my friends so hard? Not giving them, a lot of leeway. I'm always tough on my friends. I got a lot of tough love in me. It doesn't exactly work out for everyone, and it's not healthy for some people, but for some people it works. Like I was watching Fresh and Fit, and like he can tell people the truth, bro. You're lazy, you're fat, you live at your mom's house, bro, you got to get off your ass. That kind of talk works for people that don't take it personally and need to get some kind of accountability. They got to get there to where they're not lying to themselves anymore. And that's something that's so adherent to this message, is the lies that we tell ourselves. So again, if we're self-conscious, we might tell ourselves, oh, we don't deserve X, Y, and Z. And we'll switch ourselves off from even attempting something to be what needs to be. And unfortunately, a lot of us do that, and it's not healthy. I'm gonna have this conversation about healthy alternatives for not shutting ourselves down pre-gaming. That's what pre-gaming is, almost shutting yourself down so that you can be around a crowd and be in a stadium and feel a certain type of way. Imagine a world where you're not self-conscious. You're not wondering where everyone else is thinking, right? And you're only just doing you without having to connect energy to which other person, or take away your eye contact because you feel like that person's already pre-rejecting you. There's a pre-prejudice here where we have already scanned our brain from past experiences and expecting that that's going to be the future results. And instead of holding in the pocket and hitting the ball as hard as we can, we tend to hold tight to ourselves and stay inside that box, the batter's box. And that's all I'm talking about, is just the ability to swing at something, right? Like giving ourselves a chance to be the batter that we know we can be and take the shots that we know we can before we start telling ourselves, oh, I can't lose that weight, or they won't like me, or what if nobody gets it? That's a lot of self-conscious effort inside of our heads. The old adage is, don't cross a bridge till you get to it. A lot of people are assuming what the bridge looks like, how far it is, and how it's going to go down. There's a lot of assumptions going on. And unfortunately, that's what we end up doing. We live in an assumption world where we assume people are checking us out, or we assume people are judging us, or we assume that things aren't meant for us. And in those assumptions, we make an ass out of ourselves. And the narcissism, I don't get a chance to be gentle with people. And when I noticed is that I'm in a football game. I'm in a huddle. I'm making my touchdowns, and they're in their fear. They're in their energy. They're not even in the ball game or even in a stadium. And that's the thing that I realized, that my narcissism, I didn't really calculate how other people viewed or feel or acted certain ways. None of that kind of really mattered to me, right? What was mattering to me is my perfection, and that it had to be perfect. It needed to be tits tight, as they say, or sweet ass, bro, for me to be at the level that I wanted to be at. And driving people kind of made them mad at me. Like, yo, I don't want to do that. I want free will. You're not going to force me to do anything I don't want to do. You have no control. And in my narcissism, I'm like, watch my control, watch my power, watch me do whatever manipulative tactics or calculations or strategy to get the win. And one of the things was to just win through people. I don't want to manipulate people. I don't want to sit there and use my psychology degree or understanding of human beings to get them to where I want to be. And I haven't run many votes without juicing the door guy, right? Like, when, giving the little $20 handshake gets a lot more juice. It's like flirting with the cook, you're going to get bigger portions. And have I always used sugar to get the bees? Man, I've had some vinegar in my trees, not going to even fucking lie, and that venom of I'm so hurt that I don't mind hurting other people was part of my narcissism. It doesn't mind being hurt. If you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you, kind of thing. And I wanted to level up. I wanted to see that maybe this person wasn't hurting me. Maybe this person is just surviving like me, or they're not perfect and they made a mistake. We're riddled with so many different inabilities, and yet my perfectionism wanted everybody to have all the abilities and have all the understanding and just and none of the emotion. But that's not how humans work. Humans are full of emotion, and they're full of instincts and decisions, and we make them so fast we might not even see what kind of class of brain we're in. We might not even see how we are, because that wasn't just me. It was like 5 different psychoses, and I don't have them memorized. I can always send them to people or add them below. There was all of it and the explanation of how these people are, and I'm like, yep, that's me. That's I'm definitely the perfectionist. And there was a couple other ones that I wish I could just kind of go through right now, but I don't have it as I'm on the phone with you. But that's our thing, is that we all have a thing. I don't know if we necessarily notice it. Some people have laziness as their thing, where they just lack the motivation to do anything and apply themselves to it, and then there's other people that pre-predict things to be negative. There's a lot of people that still complain. Complaining is an addiction, and they're just mad at life but don't want to put the effort into changing life. And then I'm over here doing the perfectionist game, where I'm putting in a lot of effort and expecting everybody else to put in the same amount of effort. Everyone's on a different page in time. And I didn't give it that much creed in time, because as a narcissist, I just wanted to get it done. I got to get my touchdowns. I didn't want to have to get my understanding. I just wanted to get the objective finished, and minus the personalities. So kind of what I love about business is it doesn't care. It just cares about math. It doesn't care about your divorce. It doesn't care about your deaths in your family. It doesn't care about these things. I'm laughing about it because it's kind of shady. Like, it just doesn't care about these things and all these June bugs in the trees. I don't know if you can hear it. It's definitely summertime. But it's just facts that none of us are perfect. And to demand so much of people, like my narcissistic ways, was to an inherent take some of their energy from them. My back's sweating all the way. I'm literally going like, hey, my objective supersedes your emotions. And that's something that most people want to feel respected. I haven't been very respectful. This is my confession. I don't really care about your emotions or how you're processing things. I don't have an empathy level for those things. Like, everyone has to go to work. Everyone hates their job. Everyone hates their boss, and they grumble underneath their teeth. I'm fully aware of that. And then I'm on the facts of how do you make other people happy? And most people aren't even happy, so it makes me not even want to put energy into it. Let's see what's these June bugs. cicadas. Woo! We felt it. Woo, that was yeah, these cicadas. There's one right there. Look at it. Look at it. There's the cicada right here. Right here. He flew off. Yeah, I'm fucking with him. He's like, man, I was trying to get laid. I'm like, me too, bro. Same. Trying to get better, really, you know, where my energy doesn't supersede other people's energy, and it's really hard for me because I've always been a lightning rod and not afraid to speak my mind and defend myself. And some people just hate on me, you know. I got people that really love me, and I got people that really hate on me. It's a full swing, you know. It's not like I'm fucking Jesus and I walk on water, you know. I walk on coals, man, hot coals, to get my life to change in a nice way. And I don't mind the heat in the kitchen. I don't mind the talking shit. I don't mind when people don't want to be friends. It's one of those things that happens. You know, I'm aware of these things. So as I go into the confessional booth this morning and I talk about these things, I quickly realized that I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. I mean, I might try to work on my perfection because that's what perfection is, but there is no such thing as perfection, right? Like, even when the planes land, they all land a little bit awkward. The tires are all a little bit worn down. Not even a brand new item is perfect. So we spend a lot of time putting on airs and letting everybody else feel that we're doing perfect things or our lives are perfect. But we all know that we're all basically dumpsters full of trash and experiences and things that should be thrown out in our lives. And it sucks when we're in a world where we have imperfection. We have things that don't necessarily are congruent with our future goals, and it literally comes from our emotions. And that's like, how do we, or me, or people in general, get a better grip on themselves, you know, and see their patterns and see what not condition they are, but what, I guess you don't even have to call it condition, but and I don't want to say what section they are, right? Because everybody's something different. But how you affect other people. And I think that's my thing of tearing down my narcissism, is to see how I'm affecting other people. Like, what do I do inside of my life to make me, you know, less of an asshole and more of a helper? And that's something that I don't think anybody really gets to do that often, and say, you know, how can I be of service? How can I be of change? How can I be an ambassador of change? And that's always, you know, embrace and drive change and not be so rigid. And that's something else I've been called grumpy, but I've been rigid. I didn't have a lot of flexibility. You know, in my Taurus nature, I'm bringing you into my world, and here's this Lux life, and I forgot that you had a life before me. Part of the narcissism is just like not considering everyone and everything. And it just, I don't know, maybe my data space doesn't work that way. Maybe that's the nature of my beast, or maybe that's the way my brain works or operates. The trash, they're coming today, boys. They're coming today. And of course they are. Like, literally, while I came back here, there was nothing back here a second ago. It is just full on garbage time. But, you know, isn't that life? You know, where you think you're chilling and someone's towing your car, or stole my buddy's car the other day, and, you know, we fall short. And I think that's the thing that social media lies to all of us, is that, you know, people got it together. Their relationship's perfect. Their kids are beautiful. Jealousy starts to get triggered. And the thing you can't really see is the imperfections, right? Like, we only want to see brand new sneakers. We only want to see, you know, planes landing. Let's see, can you see that? Let's see. You know, we didn't see the pilot get up in the morning. Right? We didn't see them being underpaid. We didn't see them arguing with their wives. We don't see any of those parts of our lives, or their lives, or the focus point. So It's difficult when we're only on one pattern, right? We're only on ourselves. And that's part of the narcissistic tendency, is to be biopic or myopic, and I'm only on me and what's going on in my world. Kind of like us, it's only our page, our Instagram, this is our whole world. And we spend a lot of time decorating these meta worlds instead of being inside of our own soul. Like, it's easy to jump into a fake life, and we'll do it straight off in the morning, than going to our real life and having real change and applying it to ourselves. And that's all I wanted to talk about, was just, it's a narcissist. I can do better. I try to be more friendlier with people. I work on being nice. I try to work on being considerate. It's not my strong suit. A lot of people have different strengths, and then they have different weaknesses. It's in all of us. Like, again, we like to glorify perfect human beings. There we go. But there isn't one. Each one of us can lose our mood and bring out an attitude and put that tude on somebody else, even though it doesn't belong there. It's all there. So funny, I was just over there. Now there's a van. So much energy. If it ain't a van, it was 7 trucks. It wasn't 7 trucks. It was the garbage truck. I thought he was going to finish in there. Nope, he had to follow me. As I said, energy. So it's one of those things that I live in a world where not everything is congruent, just like you. One day you can be really happy, and the next minute not so good. And then also what we do in our day lives start to bleed in our night lives. Like, hey, what's going on with you? You're not your normal self. Oh man, I lost my grandma, or I'm fighting with my girl, or park there. There's no trash here, but stay here on the show. He literally parked and got out. I live in a weird world where, shit, man, maybe they have to do a lap around the building just to stay near me. I don't know. It's weird. We don't all have all the answers, and that sucks. Life can suck sometimes, and sometimes it can shine. That's what Saints Brand's all about, shining. But sometimes it's not so much shine. And then it's like, what are you going to do when you're not getting along with people, or you lose friends, or these all things happen in life. It's like, there's no guarantee. And that's something that I've been preaching to people, is like, look at yourself harder, examine. Self-examination. I'm not asking you for a doctor checkup. You don't have to put a thumb up your ass, but it would be nice to have a thumb up your mind, and being able to say, hey, this is me. This is how I shine. This is how I operate, and this is why I am the way that I am. And that's something that all of us can take creed and handle it, that way, and say, as an adult, I have more understanding of myself. I have more self-control, and I'm working on these imperfections. And that's something that not a lot of people get to that level. I'm still not even completely at that level. I'd love to say that I instantly got respectful and my mouth didn't run off on people when I felt slighted, right? Not that I was slighted. So that can also happen too. Much like these airplanes, right? Poor stewardesses have to deal with multiple people under multiple duresses. They probably are stressing, and now you're conflicting with people that don't want to wear masks, or want to start fights, or you're in a closed environment. And it shows a lot of us as people. It's like, where are we at? We'll see people get angry enough to get through, like for chicken nuggets, I think, through the doors of the drive-through and start shit. A lot of us can do that. It's a very interesting thing. You're like, why would you get so angry? I don't think you're really angry over chicken nuggets. And I don't think everyone's really narcissistic, but there are days these things happen and you're like, oh shit, this is human behavior, and where's it all coming from? Well, it comes from a heavy dose of not being self-aware, it comes from a heavy dose of believing in lack and being external about our things. And then it comes to having conversations with ourselves. It's one of those things where, it's not easy when you're talking to yourself. So try and get this. Yeah, but that was there forever. Conversations with ourselves, so that way we can have better conversations with others. So that's just something that I work on. It's not easy to work on. I don't have all the answers. I say that often. I've made mistakes. I've treated people unfair and without respect, and they blocked me and deleted me. I'm thinking of multiple people when I say that sentence. I wish that I could keep every person liking me, and pull my, what do they say, Bill Clinton, where he just had to have everyone like him. trying to appease everyone and say yes to everything, and there's some people that say no to everything. It can't be both. You can't be a vitamin no person all the time and just say no and block your blessings. And you can't always be a yes person and just say yes to everything, because you might be on some attrition. So, it's a balance. And it's not easy to have balance in our lives. Shit, it's not easy to have balance in our brains. There it is. So I'm seeking the balance. I'm seeking some sort of middle ground where I can still feel like I can be me, and without impeding other people and their personality. So this is my confession. This is my confession. Just not what I was saying. No, okay. I didn't calm down. But, it's not a song. It is a lifelong project. And literally of how I apply myself to people and scenarios. And each time there's a conflict or a vibe, there's another chance to step up and be a better person. So, I think true narcissists don't have the empathy at all. They won't ever reflect on how they're treating other people. But, I, in my own self, like everyone else, I'm worried about self-survival and making it in life. What I also need to calculate is that to make it in life, we got to calculate with people. So it's just one of those things where, we can't do it alone. And we tend to just live alone in our own heads in these little worlds that we created, instead of self-examining it and pulling ourselves out of the box and out of the attitudes and out of the patterns, and say, hey, what's working? What's working for me and others, and as a reflection of service. It can't just be just one fucking person. It's just a consideration of just everything. And I mean, I'm not living in Hollywood. I can't fake it to make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my mind and in my soul. There you go. There you go. Trying to be a better saint, and being saintly. And I'm mostly dickly, dude. I'm like strictly dickly. I'm over here being dickish too often. It came from my father, and the narcissism of both parents, and the drive for nothing to be mediocre, and always pushing harder and pushing myself harder. I pushed other people down, and that's a confession of a narcissist right there. I just wanted to win, and I'll take a dirty win. I'm so addicted to wins. I didn't see that I wasn't letting other people win or letting other people in. And that's two big things that I've been working on. I think are crucial to being human, is to letting other people in. And, I find it a protection mechanism, because I don't want other people in. They can disappoint me. They can have bad attitudes. They can be judgmental. And then at the same time, so can I. So it's just a reflection of all the way around of how many different psychoses there are, how many patterns that we all tend to typically fall in, and then how are we treating others, right? So, they always say treat others like you want to be treated. Still the golden rule, still applies. As easy as practice, not so much. Again, we can lose our tempers like anyone else and have a bad day and take it out on other people, take it out on a stewardess, take it out on a coworker, take it out on a loved one. That shit has to stop. We got to come up with ways that we can be better to each other and ourselves. And that's all that I'm doing is some saintly talk this morning, is getting that kind of halo on and approach people better. I try to smile. I try to be nice. I try to compliment, say good mornings. It's not going to win everyone. That's not how it works. But working on us is how it works. And that's what I wanted everybody to do, is get some self-work out there. A lot of people talk about self-care, but they don't want to do the shadow work. They don't want to go in the deep, and they don't want to do the things that really makes the tree grow. So, everyone's growing every day. Up in what direction's really up to you. So I hope you have a blessed day. I hope this message reaches whoever's got to see it. Maybe they're a narcissist too, or maybe they don't want to be anymore, or they are loving someone that is. There's a little background and confessional of what's going on, and the perfectionist. So on my heart from the start, it's your boy Marky Saint, Saints Addiction. This is Saints brand. If you want to get a shirt, go over there, purchase it. Part of the proceeds go to Saints Giving. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever, and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you get your friends involved. That's the whole thing I do this for. Somebody's going to know somebody that needs somebody. and I want you to be that body. Peace and love. I'll see you on the side. Say goodbye to the plane. Say bye, plane. Peace.